Hey, Richard. First and foremost, thank you for your work.
Yeah.
I've been watching you since 2020 and read your book. So I,
Would you leave a
long
nice
story,
review on Amazon for me on the book? I always got to
I
ask,
did.
man. Thank you.
I did, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Please do
writing
so,
that
guys.
book.
If you've read the book, always go to Amazon and leave a kind review. Thank you. Sorry, Leo, go ahead.
So I was dating a single mom. She have a 12-year-old. She's 31. I am 31. I work in aerospace and defense. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
We both lived in LA. So she went to nursing school, and as soon as she graduates, right, gets her first big girl job.
Yeah.
She gets a coworker. I didn't find out until she manipulated me, and I had to break up with her.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's been 5 months, but I have been having a little bit of hard time getting over the 5-year relationship.
Mhm.
Uh,
What did she do? Did she step out on you? Did she go and betray you and bang somebody else?
uh, I didn't know if she banged somebody before breaking up, but
Mhm.
definitely after, like within days.
Oh, yeah. Something was going on before then.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you lose out to this guy? Like, what did he have to offer? Because, women only leave a relationship if she thinks that she's going to do better.
I'm not sure. This guy is a nurse. He's shorter than her. She makes
Oh,
about
she
the same.
works with him.
Yeah, she works with him.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah. So I've been having a hard time because if I look at myself, I'm definitely better than this guy.
Mhm.
He's even younger. So,
A lot of the times, Leo, women, when they're with you for a while, will start to take you for granted. They will form this idea in their head that any guy that they leave you for will be at your level or better quite easily. And it's not always true. In fact, it's usually not true, especially, well, look, I mean, if you're a 10 out of 10 and you're a solid chap, like a top shelf guy in the top 1%, the chances of her replacing you is slim to none. You said you work in aerospace?
yes.
You get paid well into six figures?
Yes.
Yeah. Good looking guy, in shape, broad shoulders, narrow waist.
Broad shoulder, narrow waist. I'm 5'10". I would give my looks about 7.
Mm-hmm. You're in a higher percentage of men out there. If you're making over six figures, you said you're 28 or was it 31? Sorry.
I'm 31.
31. Yeah. If you're 31 making well into six figures, like you're coming into your stride now. And dude, like at the end of the day, this chick was 31 with a 12-year-old. That meant she had a kid when she was a teenager.
Yeah, she had a kid with a guy who's 10 years older than her.
Uh-huh.
And she's his third baby mama.
She's his third baby mama. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing a good job at scattering his seed, isn't he?
Yeah. So
Huh.
I was fool enough to be in this relationship long enough.
Yeah.
Because she kind of kept me into it, but once I realized it's time
Did
for
you
her
go
to
through
go,
betatization?
I didn't actually. I was actually pretty dominant in the relationship.
Good with frame? Okay.
With frame, and she couldn't break it. She tried breaking it many times, and she tried to get a ring, and I was like, let's wait, let's see how it goes, and she couldn't wait.
Yeah, man, here's the thing, because every guy is going to deal with some level of heartbreak where they commit to a woman, they ego invest in her, even a child that isn't theirs, that they'll take care of and protect and provide for. You form a relationship, a strong bond with her and even her kid. And they don't, like, things don't last forever. I did a show the other week about cheating versus betrayal and the non-monogamous like fashion in which we operate as human beings. We're not very good at it. We suck at it. So, like, you can't expect, like, one of the big red pilling moments for a lot of guys, when they unplug, is like they realize she wasn't mine, it was just my turn, or some soundbite to that effect that we've all heard before. They've said that if you date somebody for 5 years, it'll probably take you 5 years for them to be completely out of your head, right? I've seen guys suffer for 6 months, 12 months, year and a half, in some cases with women that they've spent, some time with. It's normal to feel betrayed. Like, anger is a legitimate response in the shape, like in the form of an injustice. She steps out on you after you commit to her and raise her kid and, provide for them. And it sounded like you put her through school as well.
Yes, I did.
and you put her through school. I mean, you put her through school into a job where she met a guy that she left you for. This is like, like this is the story that I've heard as old as time. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he was telling me his wife stepped out on him, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck happened? We all thought that you guys were good." He goes, "Yeah, well, she liked horses, and because she liked horses, I bought her a horse, and I thought, that was a good thing to do because that's what a good husband does. He makes money and provides. Only she started banging the stable boy at wherever she was riding the horses. Um, this is a story as old as time. Is you're gonna do things and you're gonna offer solutions and remedies and economic benefits to women that they're going to use to betray you. Get used to it.
It's funny that you said that about the horse story. So, because I'm very dedicated to my work, I travel out of state 2 weeks out of the month.
Yeah.
So I gave her opportunity to control the house however she needed to, and she did that pretty well when it was time. But as soon as she steps out, like she gets her first job, everything changes around her.
Yeah.
And she couldn't break my frame. She tried breaking it at the last day when she came to get her stuff. I just wanted to ask her like, "Hey, why did you pull this move?" And her answer was, "You didn't call me beautiful enough." And I started laughing at her face. I'm like, "Really? Okay."
That's hilarious. That's some bullshit right there. That's the other guy calling her beautiful, and she just figured, you know what, I'll use this on him. I got to tell him something because I'm a hoe, and I got to make up some reason. So I'm going to blame it on him and say that he didn't say that I was beautiful enough. It's not your fault if she's a hoe. Hoes are going to hoe. You can't make a hoe a housewife. You got involved with a gal that had a 12-year-old that she birthed when she was 18. She got it from a guy that was 10 years older than her. She ended up being the third baby mama. She's an idiot, right? And you must have seen the red flags in hindsight now that you've read my book. You know what they are now. You know that she's not a high quality woman. She's of high virtue. So just consider it a 5-year lesson, or whatever the relationship term happened to be. A 5-year lesson that cost you 5 years of your life. 5 years of investment that you've now taken from, and you're going to move on from. You're going to leave it behind and move onwards and upwards. The next gal that you find is going to be hotter, younger, with no kids, tighter, all that stuff. I guarantee. And you're going to look back on this call one day. You're going to go and watch it and be like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why did I even care? So you will get past it. There is no doubt in my mind that you will. It's just that you're going through some grief right now, and it's fine. Focus on things that you give a fuck about. I mean, like whatever your hobbies are that you might have put off because you were dealing with her or her priorities or her kids' priorities, all of those interests that you might have had that you may have put off, double down and spend some time on them, man. Things that you'd like to explore, places that you wanted to visit, trips that you may have wanted to take that she wouldn't let you take because whatever reason, go do them, right?
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to put out for the guys out there, that she tried to convince me very hard that she even changed her religion to Islam, and also went out and got a tattoo of my name in her ring finger.
Oh, okay.
And at that moment, I realized she's trying too hard, so I'm going to put it off. I kept my frame. I didn't let it break. I didn't go and give her a finger and, bend down on my knees.
So she wasn't Muslim. What was her background?
She's white. She's from California, Los Angeles.
Okay. And you're from Islam, right?
Yeah. My parents, my family came from Iran.
What did your parents think of you hooking up with a gal with a kid from a prior relationship?
I mean, they didn't like it at the first place, but she kind of played it pretty well. So I used to take my mother to the mosque nearby, and she showed up and converted to Islam in front of her, without even telling me. So it was a whole show.
You know what it sounds like to me? Like you probably didn't move at the speed that she wanted you to. She went and got the tattoo. She went and converted to your religion. She had genuine burning desire for you. You had good frame. I bet what it was that because she was pushing for something that you weren't willing to give her, she started to look elsewhere because she knew that her chips were getting cashed out. Because she's 31, man. She's getting older, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine because you didn't want to give it to her, probably because your intuition was going off, going like, let's wait and see. I'm not really digging this. I don't know if this is a good idea, right?
Right. So the intuition that I had was, She left her baby's father, telling me that he was abusive, quote unquote abusive. But when I look at the guy,
Every
he
single
actually,
chick, dude, every single chick that leaves a guy always has some story about he was abusive. He was financially abusive. You know what that translates to? He set a budget and he didn't want me to go outside of it, but she'll call him financially abusive or some shit, right? Don't
but the
like,
baby's father actually take care of the kid more than her. She's always in school. She's outside. She's
yeah, there
spending
you
time,
go.
and she's always using him as a tool to keep the kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, man, like you saw what she was made of. That's it. You spent 5 years of your life and you got an exit, and now she's somebody else's problem. Consider it a blessing. Consider it a massive blessing. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.